sorry. Here we go again. Good morning. It is 6:05. Normally, I have a couple of attendees early on my Monday morning chair yoga class that haven't arrived yet. Maybe they're sleeping in after a long weekend or a busy weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and record this class for all of them. And I'll make sure that I get the recordings out to you all later on today. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and sit down and we'll begin the chair yoga class. This is also broadcasting on Facebook Live. So this will also be a free class for the community. Remembering last week, I used my blocks as I was sitting in my chair because it really made a difference for me anyway, in terms of sitting properly in my chair. So when you do chair yoga, you have your options of chairs that you can choose. I'm sitting just on a dining room chair. It's a little tall for me. So it's ideal if you have a chair that allows you to have your feet placed firmly on the floor. Most of the time I see folding chairs, you know, the metal folding chairs with the soft or the hard seats used for chair yoga. And they can be used in lots of very creative ways. So if you have one of those, that may be the very best option. Excuse me. Whatever chair you choose, it's really important that it can't move. That's a safety feature that you got to make sure that when you're in any poses on the chair, that the chair is not trying to slide across the floor. Now, mine is placed on top of the mat because at some point within this routine, I will be leaving the chair and going onto the mat with the use of the chair as a support to show to you ways that you can do lots of movements in yoga, lots of asanas modified for use using the chair. And since we are in the midst of the new moon, I decided today, I'm bringing up my routine for the day, I decided that we would integrate the moon salutation within our chair yoga routine, because I think tonight is the first night of the full moon. I saw it last night from my friend Suzanne's house. We went down there to meet her new kitten and have dinner and sat out for a long time on her beautiful patio. And she said, look, the moon. I said, how perfect. Tomorrow I'm teaching chair yoga. I'm going to teach how to do a moon salutation from the chair. So something to know about the new moon and mudras that are honoring of the new moon phase. So you can start in prayer pose with your hand mudras, and then you can turn your hand mudra upside down, right? So bring it upside down and then rotate it up towards the chest. And then when it arrives at the chest, to open it up into a lotus. And to open it up into a lotus, you keep your thumb and your pinkies in contact with one another. You keep your heels of your hands in contact with each other. And then you open up the rest of your fingers as if it looks like a flower or a crown. And then you can close that into hand prayer pose, prayer mudra, and then turn it back down towards your legs. So we're going to integrate that today into a little bit of a breathing exercise. And something to know about this mudra. Well, one thing to know about the lotus flower is the lotus flower is a symbol of renewal. The lotus goes down into the murky waters of warm rivers at night. And then in the morning, it comes back up and opens back up in a state of pure whiteness, as if it had never been in the mud. And it's like this miracle every day that the lotus comes back up out of the water. And when it comes out, it's beautiful and it's white and it's pure looking. So the lotus is a symbol of renewal, and we are in the new moon phase. When we engage these mudras, so going in reverse, then rising up into regular prayer mudra, and then opening up into lotus mudra, this can give you new awareness and give you the authority to make the right choices to conquer the ugliness of life. You will be peaceful, you will be secure. This is really an awesome reminder to us that in life we are presented with lots of circumstances that are difficult, lots of attitudes around us that are difficult, lots of actions and behaviors of others that are difficult, and we do not have to be drawn down by any of it. We can stand tall in our own values and our own strength and our own sense of who we are and make the choices that we intend to make. We can set intention. So this also moves us into the next niyama value that we will be covering in meditation tonight, which is the value of self-study, the value of becoming aware of the things that harm us and the things that help us. So knowing yourself. Well, the only way that you can be intentful or intentional of your actions, the only way that you can truly be making choices is to understand yourself, understand what drives you, understand what makes you tick, understand what you want in life, understand what you don't want. Develop that understanding of the things you do that are potentially harmful to you. If it's engaging in a lousy sleep schedule like I often do, if it's drinking too much coffee, if it's spending time in company with people that draw you down and take you away from who you want to be, if it's engaging in activities and habits that are not the most meaningful way you want to spend your time, and gravitating towards the things you know are good for you. If it's good eating habits, this is Amina's cancer fighting month as part of her solstice circle. You know, what are the things that we do that encourage good health, spiritual health, mental health, physical health, relationship health, balance in our lives, balance between our work and our responsibilities and our own self-care. So Svadhyaya is all about that. It's all about understanding yourself and making those conscious decisions. So as we move into our routine today, be thinking about that. So when we're on the mat, we're making those decisions while we're on the mat. And those can be how we exhibit the breath, how we are in a pose, how we exert within that pose. How much tension do we hold? Do we intentionally let it go? And what are our thoughts while we're in it? You know, how many times might we be in a plank pose and we're getting kind of sweaty and we're shaking and our mind is racing instead of finding calm and peace within that process, instead of recognizing this is only 5 breaths in your time and space? Are we freaking out? Are we saying, I hate this? Are we inside just saying, I can't wait till it's over? Is that the mindset you want to be in for all things in life? Or do we want to learn how to embrace them? So, with that said, those values introduced, I want you to sit all the way back in your chair, and I want you to allow your chair to support you. I just want to take a real quick look at the order that I wanted to introduce these things in. I'm going to set my phone down now because I don't think I need it. All righty. So go ahead. Inhale your circles up. Inhale your circles up. Inhale your shoulders up in a circle and bring them back down together on your back. So imagine your shoulder blades are like 2 plates, right? I want you to bring those plates together as if you're trying to pull a pencil in between them, holding that pencil in place. This position and pulling your shoulders down allows maximum space between your shoulders and your ears, and it strengthens all of those muscles along the upper back. And when you're sitting in a chair like this, you are indeed very intentional in your choice to sit in the chair this way. So close your eyes and start to get into your breath. Your sits bones are in firm contact with the seat of your chair. Your shoulder blades and the backs of your shoulders are in firm contact with the back of the chair. You may have an arch in your back, and that's acceptable. Some of us have a stronger arch than others. When you consider back health, I want you to consider that we all have natural curves in our back. And when we try to force those curves into a flatter state, creating lordosis, we create instability in the spine. We create instability in the muscles that support the spine. And we set ourselves up for possible injury in the future. You may have heard that back injuries are never a one-time event unless it's a catastrophic event like a bad car accident. That's true. It's years and years and years of things that we do to the back that are microscopically adding up until one day the literal straw that breaks the camel's back takes place, and then you have your injury. So yoga will help you honor the body, understand the body, strengthen the body, learn how to move in the body, learn how to be in space in your body, and learn how not to hurt your body. Go ahead and place your hands in prayer mudra. Turn your prayer mudra upside down in front of your solar plexus muscles facing towards your legs. Inhale your prayer mudra up to your chest and open your flower, your lotus flower. Exhale, close your lotus flower and turn your mudra down towards your legs. Inhale, bring it up and open up the lotus. Exhale, close the lotus and turn your mudra down. Inhale, bring your mudra up to prayer and then open up your lotus. And then exhale, close your lotus and then turn your prayer mudra down towards your legs. Inhale, bring your prayer mudra up and open up your lotus mudra. And then exhale, close your lotus flower and turn your hands, your fingers down towards your legs. Inhale, bring your prayer mudra up and open up your lotus flower. And then exhale, close your lotus and turn your hands towards your thighs. Go ahead and rest your hands on your thighs. Let's do some shoulder circles. Inhale them up towards your ears and back down towards the chair. Do that a few times at your pace. Try to keep your hands stationary on your thighs because that isolates the movement to your shoulders. On your next one, let's reverse that, inhaling to the back and up to the ears and forward to the front. Continue to do that a few more times. Very nice. Now press your shoulder blades back into the chair, pulling your shoulders down. Let's do some nice neck rolls. Inhale into a neutral, drawing the crown of your head towards the ceiling. So that's your neutral position. And then exhale, drop your chin to your chest and then circle your head to the right. And then on the exhale, circle it to the left and down back to the chest. Continue doing it in that pattern, inhaling to the right, exhaling down to the left, inhaling to the right, and exhaling down to the left, inhaling to the right, exhaling down to the left, and then inhaling to the right, exhaling down to the left. Stop at the bottom, inhale to the left, and then exhale down to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale down to the right. Inhale to the left, exhale down to the right. Inhale your head up to neutral. Very nice. Now, let's move to the front of the chair. I'm going to move my block slightly forward as we begin now in our moon salutation. So first, I want you to inhale your hands overhead and touch them together at the top. On your exhale, tip to your right, which is my left. On the camera, it will look like I'm going to the right. Inhale, this is Ardha Chandrasana. Exhale. Inhale. And then exhale your hands out into goddess arms. So in goddess arms, our wrists are at the same height as our shoulders. Our hands are facing the ceiling as if in a receiving gesture. You can choose any finger mudra you want. I'm choosing my middle finger into my thumbs, and my elbows are dropped to pull your shoulders back and down while you're in this pose. And then we're going to place our feet on the mat as if we are standing, but we're using the natural opening of our hips to turn our legs out, and then have your toes follow the direction of your hips. This is goddess pose. Just sit here and breathe in this pose for a moment, tilting your tailbone so that both of your sits bones are in firm contact with the chair, using the muscles of your gluteus maximus and the outside of your thighs to pull your knees backward, pulling your belly button into the spine. Heart center is rising towards the ceiling, and you're pulling your shoulder blades together. You can open up the throat if you want even. Imagine that you've got beautiful moonlight glowing down on your body. Very lovely. So now we're going to turn our body to your right, to my left, and we're going to put our thigh completely on the chair, take our other leg behind us in warrior one position. Bring our hands up overhead, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, pull your shoulders down, pull your belly button up against your spine, move into your back body plane. Inhale again. Exhale, pulling your shoulders back and down, pulling your belly button into the spine, moving into the back body. One more inhale. Exhale, turn your body towards the front and place your left forearm on your left knee as we set up for side angle, okay? So initially in side angle, I want your left hand on your left hip and pull your left shoulder back. And as you pull it back, you're spiraling your chest towards the ceiling. Imagine your chest towards the moon. Bring your right hand alongside your ear. So you have one continuous, beautiful line from your ankle all the way to your wrist. Reach as far as you can with your hand as you anchor your left hip down on the chair, anchoring your left foot down. Very nice. Inhale. Exhale. Now let's rise back up into warrior two. So we've got both of our hands parallel to the floor. Our feet have not changed position. Again, move into your back body by pulling your belly button back, pulling your shoulder blades together, looking straight forward. Your legs are turned still to the side. Inhale, exhale, and then what I want you to do is take your left foot, well, it's my left foot, so your right foot, and place it to the front of the chair. And then we're going to open up into a different type of Ardha Chandrasana, where we're basically just tipping our arms to the left hand laying down on the left leg as the right hand is rising up above, and just stretching your left side all the way out. Very lovely. Now we're going to repeat that same action on the other side to rise back up into what would be those warrior two arms. Okay, bring your left foot forward onto the chair. Turn your left leg to the side as you bring your right leg out in that warrior two foot position where the back of your foot is parallel to the short side of your mat and your hips are open as your left knee trails to the left and your toes trail to the left. So right now we are in that warrior two arm. So what I want you to do now is bring your left knee forward in the chair, so that it's like squared in a normal sitting position. And then go back into that half moon on the other side, stretching out your left side. Very lovely. And then bring your left foot out to the side of the chair, keeping your feet in the same position. Return to Warrior Two. Arms in Warrior Two. Pull your belly button up against your spine, tilting your tailbone down, pulling your shoulder blades together, shining your heart center up. You can look out over your left arms. Find your drishti gaze as you look out over the fingers of your left hand. Very nice. And then we're going to, I'm creating confusion here for myself, and I do apologize because I'm thinking in the opposite. So we are drawing. So we have our, we're doing everything in reverse order now. So now we're going to extended side angle pose. Remember, in extended side angle, you're bringing your right shoulder back. We have our left forearm over our left leg, pulling our right shoulder back to shine our heart center towards the floor, creating a beautiful, beautiful stretch all along the right side, tacking our right hip down, tacking our right foot down to create this stretch. Return your hand to your hip and continue to work that rotation of your chest center up to the ceiling. Now, completely turn to the left so that we can set up for Warrior One. Remember, in Warrior One, you're going to pull your belly button back, pull into your back body plane, and bring your arms up ahead. Pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. Inhale, reaching your arms up high as you keep your shoulders low. And then exhale, lower the shoulders, move into the back body plane, and pull your belly button in against the spine. One more inhale. Exhale, move both legs to a diagonal as you sit on your chair, on the forward part of your chair, and move back into Goddess arms. Pulling your belly button back, pulling your shoulder blades back, shining your heart center up. Using your gluteus muscles to open up your hips, using those to trail your knees along the same plane as your baby toes. And then bring your hands overhead. And then go the other way. So to your right, which actually your left, my right. Sorry about that. One more inhale. Exhale, return to center and return your hands back to your hips. Take a moment, pause. We're going to do each of those movements now, trying to do them in just one breath. But I think for ease and less confusion, I'm going to talk in my right, left, and you can continue to do what you see on the screen as a mirror, or you can follow the screen or follow my voice and do right, left according to my voice. So inhale your hands up, and then exhale, lean to the left. Inhale your body up, your hands are in prayer pose well above your head. Bring your hands into Goddess pose. If your legs aren't already in Goddess pose, bring them there, using the muscles of your legs to open up your hips and pull your knees back towards your baby toes. Pull your shoulder blades together and down away from your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. And then move to your left or your right, if that's what you want to do on the screen. Setting your legs up for Warrior One. So my left leg is sitting firmly on top of the chair. My left toes are in contact with the mat. The whole back of my right foot is sealed on the floor behind me.
Hi.
And I've actually, hi, good to see you. me go ahead and adjust the camera. We've just started moon salutation. I did record it if you want to go back and redo it. So let's start at the beginning of moon salutation. I'll redo it for you. Okay. So do you have a chair? Because it's chair yoga? Right on. So what I want you to do is I want you to bring your hands overhead and then exhale to the left and just breathe there for a moment. Inhale, exhale, and then inhale your hands to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down, and then I want you to turn your left leg to the side of the chair and bring your right leg behind on the other side of the chair. So we're setting up for warrior one feet. So your left foot is sealed, or your right foot is sealed on the floor behind you. Your left leg is fully sitting on the chair and your toes are touching the floor. Do your very best to create that sensation of warrior one, like if you're standing, and bring your hands up on the inhale. On your exhale, pull your belly button into the spine, pull your shoulders down, move into your back body plane. Inhale one more time. Exhale, and then open up into warrior two arms. Okay, so your legs are in the same position, but you have kind of rotated your body forward on the chair. And then take your left forearm and place it on your left thigh. And we're setting up for extended side angle pose. So with extended side angle, first take your hips and pull your shoulder back. So put your right hand on your right hip, pull your right shoulder back, shining your chest center towards the ceiling. Bring your hand up overhead, and then if you want to, you can create the further extension by drawing it alongside your ear and just reaching by pulling your right hip down as you pull your left hand up and across. And just enjoy that one. Inhale. And then exhale. Return back to warrior two arms. Bring your left leg forward on the chair, but you're still sitting on the, your right leg is still out to the side. And then we're going to do another Ardha Chandrasana by bending over our right leg with our right hand. Keep our hand either to the ceiling, or you can even curl further and kind of bring it over and have a gorgeous stretch all along the left side body. Inhale, and then exhale. Return to those warrior two arms. Bring your right foot forward, center yourself on the chair, take your left foot and place it out to the side and keep your right foot forward. And we're going to do that Ardha Chandrasana in this position again. So place your left hand on your leg, take your right hand and swoop it overhead and curl your body so you're stretching out your right side body. Keep your right hip tacked on the chair. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And then on the exhale, take your right leg and move it to the right. So we're setting up for that warrior two positioning again. Take your right forearm and place it on your right knee, and then draw your arm up over side. If you want to first place your hand on your hip and draw your left shoulder back, you can, and then draw your left arm alongside your ear. Increase the stretch by cementing your left foot down on the floor as you draw your hand across towards the other side of the room. Inhale. Exhale. And then let's go ahead and set our legs up for warrior one. So we're kind of just turning our body towards the right side of the chair, cement our left foot on the floor, move into the back body by pulling the belly button back, and then rise our arms up. On the exhale, draw your shoulders back and down your spine, moving into the back plane, drawing your belly button back. One more inhale. And then exhale. Open up into warrior two arms again. Move towards the center of your chair. A little bit forward on your chair so you can go back into those goddess feet. And then when you're in those goddess feet, once again, pull your belly button into the spine. Pull your shoulders back and down. Raise your hands up into that goddess position. And enjoy that. Inhale. Exhale, pulling the belly button in as you pull your shoulders down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring your hand overhead. And then on the exhale, rotate to the right or just lean to the right as we have another Ardha Chandrasana with our hands in prayer pose overhead. Inhale. And then exhale, return to neutral and bring your hands down to your legs. Go ahead and bring your legs together. Sit far back in your chair. And I'm going to show you the hand mudra that I introduced earlier before you joined us. So take your hands and put them in prayer pose at your chest. And then turn them down. So rotate your fingertips down while your hands are still in prayer mudra. You're doing an upside down prayer with your fingertips facing your thighs. So what I want you to do is I want you to inhale, bring your hands to chest center. And then I want you to open up into lotus flower. So to open up into lotus, you keep your palms sealed together. The heels of your palm are together. Your pinkies are together, your thumbs are together, and you're opening up your other 3 fingers on each hand into a flower. Are you able to see it? You want me to show you more closely? Yeah, you've got it. It looks like you're on it. Excellent. Okay, so what this tells us is renewal. We are in the new moon cycle, which is why I just showed you that moon salutation, or they call that Chandra Namaskar. So that means moon and salutation is what namaskar means. So we're opened up into the lotus flower. The lotus flower is the symbol of renewal. There's all kinds of groovy stuff that goes with the lotus flower. So after this is over, make sure you take some time. I'll send the recording to your mom, but it's also recorded on Facebook Live. So you can go back and watch the beginning of the video that explains all that. So you now have it open. On the exhale, close your flower and turn your prayer downward. Inhale, bring your prayer up to the chest and open up your flower. Exhale, close your flower and then turn your fingertips towards your legs. Inhale into prayer mudra and then open up your flower. Exhale, close your flower and then turn your fingertips down. Inhale, turn your prayer mudra up and open up your flower. And then exhale, close your flower and turn your prayer down. Go ahead and place your hands on your thighs and breathe for a moment while I take a quick glance at what I've set up for the class today. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and, it is time to get out of the chair actually, now that we've done 2 cycles of the Ardha Chandrasana, or the, of the moon salutation. So we're going to get out of the chair and we're going to do the poses that you're going to see coming up, Milo, are going to be, we're going to do Tadasana, which is the standing mountain pose. We're going to do downward facing dog. We're going to do a variation of half moon pose using our chair. We're going to do plank. We're going to do side plank with a tree variation. So that's going to be fun for you. We're going to go into upward facing dog, back into downward facing dog, and we are going to do a camel pose. So go ahead and stand behind your chair. So what you can do is take your chair and you can turn it. You can be behind your chair or in front of your chair, depending on how much height you would like to have. I realize you're not seeing my head very well, so let me turn my camera up just a little bit so you can see my head, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is turn towards the front of your chair. You could actually face your chair if you want to too. We can just do mountain pose that way if you want, okay? So I'm gonna move my chair slightly forward so I have more room on my mat. So standing in mountain pose, I want you to be like, have your elbows against your ribs and your hands touching the chair. So that's how far apart from the chair I want you to be. And I want you to inhale your chest up to the sky. And then on your exhale, pull your shoulders back and down, pull your belly button in and tilt your tailbone towards the floor. Move further into your back body plane by just kind of extending your arms slightly and lift all your toes up to make sure that you have all 3 triangular points of your foot in contact with the floor, your big toe ball mount, your little toe ball mount, and your heels. Now that you've got all those in contact with the floor, you can lower your toes and create that suction experience with the floor, remembering that the floor is like the ground. Your feet are the roots. Your legs are like the stalks or the the trunk of the tree, right? You're creating strength. You're drawing energy from the floor upwards into the body. And so you feel strength all along your core muscles as you rise it up through your chest, ultimately up to the crown of your head. Just breathe a couple of cycles into Tadasana. One more inhale. Exhale. Hanging onto the chair with your right hand, turn towards the front and kind of move out to the side a little bit, okay? What I want you to do is take your left leg and rise it to the left as high as feels good to you, okay? So for me, you can see I'm not rising it all the way to hip height. It's going up about, I don't know, it's at a diagonal, maybe 45 degrees. And then what I want you to do is now bend your body towards the chair. So your ear is coming towards the chair. And when that happens, that is, in fact, bringing your leg up into the air. Push your hips forward while you're doing that. My left hip is still firmly in touch with my left hip. And then pull your left shoulder back. So you don't have to have your ear on the chair. You can release your head from the chair, but still keep it kind of parallel to the floor. And then if you really want to, you can raise up your hand and look at this. You are in a gorgeous balancing half moon pose using the chair to do it. You should feel strong in this pose. You are working your lower back. You're working your shoulders. You're opening up the chest. It can be a feeling of freedom. Inhale. And then exhale, place your hand on your hip. Rise up and lower your left foot to the floor. Face your chair, move your feet backwards in space, and just go into a downward facing dog by pushing your hips backwards and allowing your heart center to face the floor, allowing it to sink between your shoulder blades, and enjoy that nice full body stretch. Very nice. Now to go into camel, what we're going to do is we're going to step back onto the mat. If you were off the mat, we're going to drop our knees to the floor. You can grab the bottom part of the chair. You can keep your hands up top. The choice is yours. But go ahead and move your body near the chair, okay? You have a couple of options in camel pose. You can hang on to the chair and just kind of rise up out of your hips, pull your shoulders back, pretend there's a string drawing your chest center up to the ceiling, and just curl back on your upper back. You don't have to touch your heels. You can just hang on to the chair, and you can open up the throat, looking at the ceiling, using your chin towards the ceiling. One more inhale. And then exhale, sit back on your heels. And the reason I say sit back is when you sit back on your heels, it's kind of a counter pose to what you just did because there was an arch in the lower back. And if you want to, you can even curl your back towards the back of the wall. And then inhale, bring it forward. We're kind of doing cow cats on the floor here. Pull your belly forward, pull your shoulders back. And then exhale, curl your spine, pulling your back of your back towards the back of the room behind you. And then inhale, pull your belly through, pull your chest down. Go ahead and stand up on your knees again, still hanging onto the chair. Once again, I want you to rise your chest up, rise it as high as it can go and still pulling your shoulders down, right? Leading with the chin as you open up the throat. And if you want to have a little bit of a curl in your upper back, go ahead and do that. One more inhale, and then exhale, sit back down on your knees. Curl your spine towards the outside. And then inhale, bring your belly forward, pull your shoulders back and down as you shine your heart center forward, and that's cat, cow. And then exhale into cat. Inhale into cow. And then exhale into cat. Rise up. We're going to go back into downward facing dog, and then we're going to change our chair direction so that we can do it on the other side. So move back into downward facing dog. So my feet are off the mat. My hips are well behind me. I'm stretching out my entire back, stretching out the front of my shoulders. Shining my heart center down towards the floor. Inhale. And then exhale, rise up, walk towards your chair. I'm going to turn my chair in the other direction and go to the other side. There you go. Okay. So now facing the chair again, we're in Tadasana. So remember in Tadasana, I want your elbows against your rib cage, your hands on the chair, and I want you to inhale your chest up towards the ceiling as if there's a string, drawing it up there. At the same time, tilt your tailbone down, pull your belly button into the spine, pull your shoulder blades together on your back. Lift all of your toes up while you're doing this to engage your arches. You've got the 3 triangular corners of your foot in contact with the ground, and then lower your toes. Stand in mountain pose for a brief moment. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. So then what we're going to do is set up for, I need to move this rocking chair out of the way before I kick it. We're going to set up for that Ardha Chandrasana that we were in before. So kind of stand, arms distance away from your chair, your right hand on your right hip. Raise your right leg up with your toes pointed forward as far as you can, and then using, bending your arm, just bend towards the chair, bringing your ear towards the chair. You don't have to lay your head on the chair. It's not a requirement. But now that you've arrived at this, I want you to stack your hips on top of each other, open up your right hip, pull your right shoulder back, kind of move your body backwards like you're pushing against a wall, okay? There's a lot of strengthening going on here. If you want, you can raise your hand to the ceiling. And again, concentrate on stacking your right hip on top of the left, pushing your hips slightly forward to accomplish that, and then pull your shoulder back. A lot of work going on here. Inhale one more time. And then exhale, place your right hand on the chair, bring your foot down, move back into downward facing dog. Pushing your hips all the way back as you allow your heart center to shine towards the floor. One more inhale. And then exhale, drop your knees to the floor as we set up for camel pose, okay? So in camel, remember, you can hold your chair wherever you want. I'm choosing to kind of hold mine on the side. And on the inhale, I want you to bring your chest high up to the ceiling as you pull your shoulders down. Bring it up as high as you can. And then if it's available, you can start to curl back. Inhale. Exhale, pulling the shoulders back and down as you rise up your heart center. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, sit back on your legs. Curl your spine backwards towards the wall behind you on the exhale. Inhale, bring your belly forward, bring your shoulders back and down as you open up the throat. And then exhale, curl the spine backward. Inhale, bring your chest forward, bring your belly forward. And then exhale, curl that again. Rise back up for another round of camel. Inhale, bringing the chest up to the ceiling, rising out of the lower spine. And then on the exhale, pull your shoulders back and away from your ears. If you want, you can allow a small curl of the upper back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, sit back down. Take an inhale, pulling your belly through and your chest forward. Exhale, reverse that. And pull the back of your spine towards the back of the room. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Exhale, pull the back of your spine towards the back of the room. One more inhale, pulling the chest forward, allowing the belly to come forward, pulling your shoulders back and down. And then exhale, return to neutral spine. Let me take a moment again to see what I had planned next. I don't know why, it's one of those days. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn our chair so that the seat is facing us, okay? And we're gonna do pigeon pose on the chair. So go ahead and rise up and move into downward facing dog, holding each side of the seat of the chair. So push your hips back. This should feel nice on your hips. If it doesn't, just bend your legs slightly, okay? You can always bend your legs in downward facing dog. It's totally allowed. So inhale. And then exhale, move further back into your dog by pulling your hips back in space and extending your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, push your hips back. One more inhale. Exhale. And then on your next inhale, rise up slightly and bring your left leg up to the chair. So that might take a little bit of maneuvering. You might have to bring your right foot in a little bit more. And then what you want to do is lay your left leg on the chair in any way that works for you. I do this at work a lot. My leg wants to slide because of my yoga pants. But what we're just going to do basically is sit on the chair in pigeon pose. And my right foot is facing the right side of the chair, so facing the camera. My left foot is facing the camera, and then my right leg is behind me, and I've got my legs straight and strong. My toes are on the floor, and I'm lifting my chest up. Okay, so we're not going to try to lay down or anything in this pose, but we are getting a little bit of a piriformis stretch, and we are getting a stretch along our right hip in this pose. But just focus on pulling your shoulder up, or your chest up, I'm sorry, as you pull your shoulders down, which will increase that stretch along your right hip. Okay, are you getting a stretch out of this?
Got my leg on the seat.
You do have your leg on the chair? Okay.
Sorry, it's like taking.
Do you need me to take a look at the camera and see what you're doing? Let me come and look at the camera. Okay, so hold the chair with both of your hands. So hold the seat of the chair though. That'll be easier. So place your hands on either side of the seat of the chair. Okay? So lower them down to the seat now, the part that you sit on. Put your hands down on the lower part. There you go. Good job. Place your right leg behind you. Good job. And take your left leg and place it on the chair. There you go. Now lay it down. Very good. However you get there. If you need to kind of like curl it behind you, you can do that. There's two ways you can do it. You can lay it across the chair like this, or you can even just bend your leg and sit on your leg. There you go. So eventually, if you develop that mobility in your hip, you can turn your knee outwards towards the other side of the chair. So now that you're in that position that you're in, what I want you to do is just focus on rising up your chest, okay? So this might feel a little awkward, a little different than how it feels on the floor, but over time you might enjoy it. But if you're even able to just move your foot a little bit in front of your hip to allow your leg to actually come in contact with the chair, then you will start to get a stretch on that hip. Let me take a look at what you've done. You were in it, I think. There you go. Now, yeah, now take your other foot that's on the floor. we're having a little bit of a, if you were with me in person, it'd be easier for me to show you. So turn your knee towards the front, towards the back of the chair. Take your knee and turn it towards the back of the chair. Do you understand what I'm saying? There you go, you're moving it, okay? And then take your foot that's on the floor and kind of stretch it out a little bit more away from the chair.
That?
I kind of, sort of. Oh, there you go, you're doing it. Now you're doing it, very good. Okay, and then eventually what you'll do is you'll bring your right foot, I think that's your right foot. There you go, you're in it. You're pretty much in it. And so now that you're in that position, you can imagine how you'll change that over time to make it work better for you, okay? So for me, I like to have my outside of my hip in contact with the chair and my right foot as far behind me as I can get it. So you can kind of wiggle your foot behind you to get it that way. And then holding onto the chair, just pushing onto the chair, you can rise your chest up to the ceiling. And just enjoy the stretch all along the right hip. Oh, you had it and you got out of it. It's okay. You'll figure it out over time and you can go back and rewatch the video. Okay. So when you go back and rewatch the video, you can go back and just see what the positioning was. Because you can redo this class tomorrow if you want on your own time schedule. Okay. Inhale your chest up to the ceiling. And then on the exhale, we're going to hang on to the chair, move our left foot back as we go back into downward facing dog. And just stretch your dog as far as you can, stretching out your lower back, stretching out the backs of your thighs, your hamstrings. Very good. So I'm going to walk it forward to the chair. I'm going to turn my chair in the other direction so that you can see me on the camera. If you want to leave yours exactly as you want to, just doing the opposite leg, that's totally fine. Placing your hands on the chair, move back into downward facing dog. Stretch your dog out. And then come forward into your dog. Place your left foot on the floor and take your right foot and place it on the chair, and then work it so that you're moving your right foot in the direction of the camera, just as I am, and your left foot behind you. One foot might feel different than the other. And then once you're here, so I've got the whole outside of my right leg in contact with the chair. My knee is towards the back of the chair, and my sole of my right foot is facing the camera, okay? And then I'm inching my left foot behind me to increase the stretch on my left front of my left hip. Go ahead and push down on the chair, rise up your chest as if there's a string pulling it up to the sky, pulling your shoulder blades down your spine. And just hold this for a few breaths. One more, inhale. And then exhale, gradually unravel that by grabbing both sides of the chair, moving your feet off the mat if you need to, back into that downward facing dog. Stretching your dog as far as feels good to you, concentrating your breath towards the back of your legs. stretch out your hamstrings. If you find you have tension in the lower spine, you can bend your knees if you need to. You can bend them as deeply as you want to because your focus is pulling, creating space, creating length from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head, using the downward facing dog to accomplish that. One more inhale. Exhale. Then we're going to move into plank pose. So I want you to move forward. So keep your feet in the same position they were in. Move forward so that your hands, your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. So let's hold this plank pose by pulling our chest center forward, pulling our belly button in against the spine. Our chest is raised because we're using the chair to do our plank. And just breathe 5 times. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale, pull your shoulders back. Inhale 4. Exhale. Final inhale. Exhale, lower your heels to the floor. Bring your right foot in slightly. I think toes should be facing front. Place your right hand in the center of the chair. And so what we're going to do is like a side plank. So you can bend your right leg. I'm going to move my right leg out a little bit. Okay? So my right leg is now out to the floor in firm contact with the floor and straight, and I'm just pulling my right shoulder back. So it's kind of like I've got like an arc going, not a straight plank. And then I'm going to take, remember when we did tree pose the other night? I'm just going to turn my right leg up. Okay, my toes are in contact with the floor. My sole of my foot is wrapped around my ankle, and I'm just kind of opening up into this side plank, creating a tree pose with my legs. It's just kind of a fun pose. It honors the moon. If you want to, you can raise your hand up to the ceiling. That's a choice that you have available to you. And just focus on pushing your hips up into space while you've got your feet in this tree pose, but both of your feet are in contact with the floor. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your hand down to the chair. Move it back into downward facing dog. Stretching your dog, enjoying that stretch. And then you can move forward towards your chair. I'm going to change the direction of my chair so you can see the same thing on the other side. On this side, I'm going to move back right away into downward facing dog. Stretching out my dog. If you need to, bend your legs so that you can create maximum space from your tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And then I'm going to move forward into plank pose, just stacking my shoulders over my wrists. My chest is up high. I'm pulling my belly button towards the spine and pulling my shoulders back and away from the ears. Very nice. One more inhale. And then exhale, move back into downward facing dog again, kind of a modified dog. Place your left hand in the center of the chair. Move your left foot forward, okay? You can keep it in the same position. You don't have to move it. And just push your hips up into your right hand, pulling your right shoulder back. And then if you want, you can't see it on the camera, but I'm creating that tree pose by just turning my right knee up, turning it out, okay? And then my sole of my foot, or the palm of my foot, if you will, is wrapped around my ankle. Okay, and I'm just pushing up into the hand. If you don't want to do the tree variation, you don't have to, but we're doing a side plank on the chair. So our left hand is in firm contact with the chair, and we're pushing our hips into our right hand. If you want to raise your hands up to the sky, you may certainly do so while still pushing your hips up into the air. One more inhale, and then exhale, bring your hand down, back on the chair. Place your hands on either side of the chair, move back into your downward facing dog. And that's our final downward facing dog of the day. So make the most of it. Pushing your hips back far in space, pulling your shoulders back away from the ears and creating all this stretch along the underside of the arm. Very nice. So let's move forward. Let's turn our chair to the front again so that we can just sit in it. Now you have your choice for our final resting pose. You tell me what you want. Would you like to lay down for your final resting pose with your feet up on the chair, or would you like to just sit in your chair?
I guess.
It's your choice, whatever you want.
Mainly laying down and the legs on the top of the chair.
Now let's do that then. Okay. So to do that, of course, turn your chair to the side. All right. And go ahead and lay down on the floor. I'm going to grab my speaker because I know that we enjoy having music when we do this. Okay, so go ahead and lay down and place your legs up on the chair. I find it really relaxing myself. I don't know if you're able to see me. Can you see me okay, Milo? So right now, I'm laying on the floor. My calves are sitting up on top of the chair. My thighs are perpendicular to the floor, while my shins are parallel to the floor because they're sitting on the seat of the chair. So go ahead and close your eyes. And let's start to do a scan of the body. Place your hands down alongside your hips with your palms facing the ceiling. Start to bring your breath to normal, gently breathing in and out of your nose, allowing your belly to gently expand and contract. Mindfully inhale, and then draw your attention towards your feet and tell all 10 of your toes to relax. Inhale. And on the exhale, tell the rest of your foot, your sole of your foot, your heel, the top of your foot to relax. Inhale. Drawing your attention towards your shins and your ankles, release any tension you might be holding there. Release any tension out of your calf muscles. Inhale. And on the exhale, relax your knees. Relax the space above your knees. And relax your thighs. Inhale. Exhale, relax your hips. Relax your lower back into the floor. Inhale. Relax all of the muscles supporting your trunk. So all of your abdominal muscles from your lower abs all the way to the top of the ribs. Inhale. On the exhale, relax your hands. Allow your fingers to gently curl towards your palms. Inhale and draw your attention towards your lower arms and relax all the muscles of your lower arms. Relax your upper arms. Inhale. And on the exhale, allow your shoulders to fall more deeply into the floor, relaxing all of your chest muscles. Inhale. And on your exhale, relax all of your neck muscles, the front and the back of the neck and your jaw. Inhale. On your exhale, relax all the muscles of your face. Allow your jaw to hang slightly open. Pull your tongue away from the roof of your mouth. On your next inhale, focus on your eyes, allowing them to fall back into the sockets, and allow your eyebrows to melt towards the side of your head, relaxing all of the muscles of the forehead. Lay here in this resting Shavasana pose with your your legs up on the chair for at least 5 minutes, and I'll play you some gentle music while you rest. I would like you to start coming back into the consciousness, into the present. And start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Maybe inhale your shoulders up to your ears and exhale them back down. Turn your head from side to side. And then roll over to one side or the other. And kind of curl up into a ball. And just rest for a moment. Nice to see you. So we're going to do our final inhale and exhale with our hands overhead. So once you're sitting down. Very nice. Good job. Inhale your hands. You ready? Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale them down. And then inhale your hands up. Bring them back into that prayer at the belly center. Turn your prayer down towards your legs. Inhale your prayer up and then open it up into that lotus flower. Thank you for joining me on this Monday morning.
Thank you for having me.
And the video will be available for you to watch. Maybe you want to try to do it again tomorrow when you have a chance to watch how I moved into that pigeon pose. But this was a really relaxing, slow routine. So it's one you can totally repeat day 2, no problem. So I hope this gets your week started off right for you. Tonight we do have meditation if you guys choose to join. That will be on Facebook Live and on Zoom. I can provide the Zoom link, or you can just move into Facebook Live, whatever is your preference. And I just want to thank you. I want to wish you well today. The light in me joins with the light in you. The yogi in me sees the yogi in you. Namaste. I hope that provides you a good start to your day, Milo. Very nice to see you.
Yeah, Simon.
Okay. Oh, it's Simon. I'm sorry. I didn't know which kid I was looking at. I obviously didn't have a good morning thing going on. Because Milo was in my last class, and it wasn't you, I think. Or was it you in my last class? Which one of you joined my last class?
I've been like trying to get to all your classes. Like
you've been consistent, and he comes and goes. That's right, Simon. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Like in the morning, there's basically no difference.
Yeah, I know. We all have bedhead. We've all got. So anyway, Simon, it was so nice to see you. So maybe I'll see you tonight. If not, that's okay. We'll see each other Wednesday morning.
All right.
All right. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.